moment, and we really look forward to hearing all about all of your successes in the future. Thank you.
Shortly, the Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan AO, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. As they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the National Anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Budri Gumara, everyone. Good afternoon, and Nalawa, welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this afternoon. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulungari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a a school set up by Governor Macquarie in 1815, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success, your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in more traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly live well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 240 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he had ever met. They owned nothing but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. So there was no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents or mortgages, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources which were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they've done here for the past 20,000 years. So this is not a dream or an ideal. This is normal life for us, and for the longest time it has been. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. But we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, and we're naturally a happy and healthy people. I would suggest, though, that we all look after the country, or our countries, and share your gifts with the rest of us. Keep also following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far, and do all this, and I'm confident that together we can put together a country and a world that we can be proud of, and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you, and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you, and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO.
Chris Tobin, thank you very much for your welcome to country. Here at Macquarie University, we're very proud of our relationship with the Darug people, whose customs and cultures have nurtured this land since the dream time. So on behalf of the university, and indeed on behalf, I think, of everyone here today, I offer our thanks and respect to all of their elders, past and present. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, first I want to thank all of you for coming. A graduation ceremony is a very important celebration of achievement. The achievements, of course, of our graduands, but I might say also of the university. So it's very good that you're here, and I'm very grateful that you are. I also especially want to thank those of you who have brought children with you. It's good for them that they're here, because their memories of today and of the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate the successes of today's graduands. And their presence is also good for us, because every celebration is enhanced by the presence and indeed the noise of children. Now, unless children have changed enormously since I was a child, few of them will be able to stay quiet or still for the duration of a graduation ceremony. I don't expect them to, I don't want them to, and I don't want you to worry if they don't. They are most welcome, and please let them run around and make as much commotion as they like. Now, the most important thing today is that our graduands have a great day. You will only have a great day if you relax. I can assure you nothing can go wrong. Well, that's not quite true. Sometimes people come up here and trip and fall over, and that's why all these people are here, dressed up to the nines. Their job is to pick you up if you fall over and send you on your way. But other than that, nothing can go wrong. So please just sit back and enjoy the occasion, because you deserve to. You deserve to take pride, great pride, in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to congratulate all of you who are here today as the guests of our graduands. The very fact that you're here, the fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives, you don't have to take the child out. They're more than welcome to stay. Please sit down and stop worrying. The very fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. And I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role. I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, I hope it won't come as a surprise to you, but Macquarie University is not one of them. We're only a relatively young university, celebrating our 50th anniversary just 4 years ago. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. Those of us who went to school in New South Wales were taught that Macquarie was a great builder, and indeed he was. But his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. His greatest legacy was the ethos he established, much to the annoyance of the British authorities at the time, of an egalitarian society, because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony there be no distinction between the free and the freed that was the foundation of the Australian nation of a fair go for all. And that is a legacy that here at Macquarie we will always aim to maintain and honour. Now, notwithstanding Macquarie's greatness, it's fair to acknowledge that some of his actions would certainly not pass muster today. For example, removing Aboriginal children from their families, even for the purpose of their own education, would certainly not be tolerated today. I wonder how many things we accept today that one day we will look back on with shame. One of the attributes I hope that Macquarie University will impart to all its students is the capacity for moral and ethical reflection, and a yearning always to help right the wrongs, not just of the past, but also of our own time. Now, after our first 54 years, we now have over 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in more than 140 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're now ranked in the top 2% of the world's universities. From our beginnings, we have defied the traditional boundaries of academia. We've pioneered and indeed we continue to pioneer, learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students play a major role in their own learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn. We're also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research with world-changing impact, is brought to life by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solutions to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. And by the way, that's not some idle boast. I'm sure almost everyone here at some stage makes use of Wi-Fi. Now, it might surprise you to learn that Wi-Fi was not developed by scientists at Harvard University or Oxford University or the University of Hamburg. No, Wi-Fi was developed by the scientists and the engineers at Macquarie University in conjunction with scientists from the CSIRO. So we're very proud of that, and the CSIRO should be too. And it's not just Wi-Fi that we're proud of. In fact, we have so many research projects happening here all the time that have tremendous potential to improve the well-being of our fellow man. I'm sure that you'll all be aware of the recent death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and a marvellous and inspiring man. The disease he fought almost all of his life was motor neurone disease, and I'm very proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is at the forefront. In fact, I think it's fair to say we are the Australian leader in helping to find a cure for that dreadful disease. We're also proud of some of our new or relatively new facilities, including our Australian Hearing Hub, our library and our hospital. We are the only university in Australia which owns and operates its own hospital. And as well as being used by the scientists and academics in our Faculty of Medicine, it's obviously also used for its primary purpose of treating sick people. And it does that very well. I can attest to that personally. I was a patient there a few years back for 3 days, and I can assure you the treatment you get is absolutely fantastic, especially when you're the Chancellor. So I'd recommend it to you. Now, we also, of course, have a lot more work to do to make sure that all of our facilities are up to scratch. But we're on the job. And that's why you might have seen today when you arrived that a lot of work is going on. In fact, in some respects, we look like a war zone. The big hole in the ground outside, just behind me, is the site of our new central courtyard, which will house new food and beverage facilities, other social and study areas, as well as on-campus student accommodation. A little further away, our arts faculty building, one of our oldest, has been completely gutted and will be replaced by a new arts precinct, which will also include new spaces for our superb museums and galleries. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission, and that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Well, now, graduands and ladies and gentlemen, it's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Professor Dr. Peter Siemond. Peter graduated from the Free University of Berlin in 1995. He holds degrees in English and computer science. He received his doctoral degree in English linguistics in 1997 and his postdoctoral degree in 2002, both of them from the Free University of Berlin. Peter joined the University of Hamburg as a full professor in 2001 and was promoted to Chair of English Linguistics in 2004. He held visiting professorships in Singapore, Calgary, Melbourne and now Sydney. Peter carried out several prestigious and extensively funded projects and served as director in major research initiatives. He has published widely on English linguistics, language typology, language contact and multilingual development. His monographs appeared with international publishers in a number of publications, and he's one of the editors of the Journal of Language Contact. I now invite Peter to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Peter Seamond.
Dear Chancellor, Executive Deans, members of the University Council, executives, and most of all, graduates, family, and friends. Traveling more than 10,000 miles to serve as the occasional speaker in this graduation ceremony truly is a great honor. I do very much appreciate this invitation and feel extremely privileged to be able to present myself and my home institution. Now, on occasions like this, I develop a tendency to reflect on non-academic issues, frequently asking myself what young people like you, besides all the unquestionably useful academic content, have drawn from university education and are able to take with you for your future lives and careers. My take on this is that you will probably have to wait for some 10 to 20 years before you will truly be able to assess the real value of the past years that you spent at this prestigious institution. Sustainability is a current buzzword in political and economic circles, but it also has an important academic and personal dimension in that the education you received here has, hopefully, enabled you for lifelong learning, which is something I'm convinced you will find out in due course. Today, I would like to continue pursuing such reflections and invite you to consider what else you are going to take home above and beyond highly specific academic knowledge and skills. And in doing so, it first of all crossed my mind that a university, besides being an academic institution, also happens to be a very important dating site. Much like elite singles, but without subscription fees. I'm quite certain that many of you have found a, or perhaps even the partner for life here at Macquarie University. At least, this is what it used to be like when I was your age, a little more than 20 years ago. At that time, at the Free University of Berlin, where I did my studies, an attractive woman crossed my path who later became my wife, and the mother of 3 beautiful and intelligent children. Also my children, that is. This cannot be different today. The question that I have always been asking myself in this context is how we actually take the decision in favor of one particular partner, and perhaps against potential competitors. This must be an immensely difficult decision. But precisely about that, I presume, you did not learn anything in the lectures and seminars of this university, even though the relevant experiments do in fact take place here. There's simply no manual. True, we do find the concept of love at first sight, but the underlying mental processes are difficult to capture and describe. it would also appear to be relatively rare. Now, our colleagues from the psychology department tell us that the human brain works on the basis of essentially two types of processing principles. We commonly find a distinction drawn between fast thinking and slow thinking. Love at first sight must be fast thinking. Ultra-fast thinking, as it may even escape your attention. Fast thinking, as a matter of fact, is quite vital for survival, and we need it to steer without harm through the traffic jungle or perform seemingly simple activities like taking a shower or combing our hair. Generally, it takes care of all sensory input and its proper and efficient processing. Moreover, fast thinking is what underlies emotional judgments and also misjudgments, something we call jumping to conclusions. The problem with fast thinking is that it is somewhat error-prone. It heavily relies on correct preconditions, which is why it can be so fast. Shakespearean tragedies furnish especially insightful examples. Take Macbeth. This tragedy begins with the appearance of three witches who make rather foggy predictions that are open to interpretation. Macbeth, spurred by his wife, Lady Macbeth, takes these to mean that he shall be King of Scotland. Before his mind's eye, Macbeth can already see himself on the throne, and so can Lady Macbeth. Consequently, they slay Duncan, the ruling King of Scotland, and seize the Scottish throne. They fall victim to their ambitions, which represents an illustrative case of fast and incorrect thinking. That can also be observed in academia, by the way. Before his death, though, Macbeth discovers the flaws in his interpretation of the witch's prophecies, and this is the moment when slow and careful thinking reveals the truth. But of course, it comes too late. Therefore, it is a tragedy. Fast and slow thinking, thus, come to be two important moments in the design of a tragedy. Following Aristotelian tragedy theory, the hero commits a tragic flaw, hamartia, which can be taken to be the result of fast and incorrect thinking, typically induced by absence of facts, speculation, as well as strong emotions and desires. The other important moment is when the tragic hero becomes aware of his mistakes, usually immediately before he dies. This is known as anagnorisis, the moment of recognition. Now, the hero has access to all relevant information and can compute the elements of the true story. This happens too late, though, as already stated. In Macbeth, tragic flaw and the moment of discovery are placed at almost opposite positions of the play, namely beginning and end. In Othello, they follow in quick succession at the end of the play. As is well known, Othello, who is a bright, honest, and highly able warrior, is manipulated into thinking that his beautiful and utterly faithful wife, Desdemona, turned disloyal and is cheating him with Cassio, which of course is not the case. The manipulator's name is Iago. This type of person, usually driven by ambition and a strong sense of being undervalued, is extremely dangerous and can cause substantial harm. Their greatest payoff is destruction. They cannot find win-win situations. Be that as it may, Iago manages to manipulate Othello into a rage of jealousy, as a consequence of which he suffocates Desdemona in their bedroom. A rather tragic case of fast thinking. This murder scene is outrageous, as Othello loves and kills at the same time. Shortly after, Othello begins to revert to slow thinking and discovers his tragic flaw. Suicide now offers the only escape. When I was your age, this play left me in utter disbelief, as I couldn't grasp the power of manipulation nor the strength of emotions, especially of envy, jealousy, and love. I'm much wiser today, I can assure you. Let us finally also take a brief look at Romeo and Juliet, which is the archetypical case of forbidden love produced by fast thinking. It offers great tragic potential. The two lovers come from two warring families and are not allowed to live out their love for one another. They accidentally meet at a ball and fall in love. Without any doubt, it is love at first sight. Juliet is expected to marry someone else, but decides to take a potion that makes her appear dead so that she cannot partake in the wedding ceremony. Romeo finds her in this state and takes her to be dead, which again is a tragic case of fast thinking and misjudgment. He should have checked the medical facts more carefully. Romeo then poisons himself as he wants to join Juliet in eternity. She awakens to find him dead, now comprehending his misjudgment herself. Her heart begins to bleed wildly. She cries incessantly, and her thick, dark hair is wetted by her deep, dark eyes. In terror, her tender hands reach for a dagger. It finds her bleeding heart and terminates her pain. Her purple lips fade. She looked like an angel. In this story, several people die or are made unhappy simply because the social setting is such that two lovers are not permitted to love one another. All these tragedies nicely illustrate the important step from fast thinking to slow thinking. Shakespeare knew it all. And evidently, the kind of thinking you trained here at Macquarie University is slow thinking. You have been trained to avoid tragic mistakes of the type Macbeth, Othello, and Romeo and Juliet fell victim to. Leaving this institution, you are not supposed to jump to conclusions any longer. You have been prepared for a thoughtful, well-planned, and reflective path through your lives. It is also believed that this slow approach is most beneficial for society at large. But how did you learn slow thinking? I think it all starts with careful observation. Good science is good observation, as Dr. Max Patel aptly explains to Marine Jake Sully in the Avatar movie, where the opposition of fast and slow thinking is effectively enshrined in the opposition of the central characters. You gathered evidence, analyzed observable facts, measured extensions and distances of various kinds, and reconstructed developmental trajectories in minute detail. You learned to develop appropriate methods and to apply them reflectively. You learned how to break down complex states of affairs into manageable chunks. Complex relations between causes and effects were operationalized and dissected into isolated factors or factor bundles. At the end, you interpreted your findings and designed appropriate models, including sophisticated regression models, of course. You also learned to present and disseminate your work in presentations, term papers, BA and MA theses, as well as doctoral dissertations. You participated in workshops and perhaps even international conferences. In view of the Shakespearean tragedies introduced above, an apt title for such a conference could be From Fast Thinking to Slow Thinking, coping with tragic flaws in academia. The plenary lecture was delivered by Romeo and Juliet and bore the title, The Tragic Flaw of Love at First Sight in Situations of Forbidden Love. Whose flaw is it, after all? It aroused much controversy. One, rather narrow-minded and arrogant research camp ardently argued that such love can and must be abstained from at all costs. Another, more thoughtful team objected and maintained that love cannot simply be blown off. If it is there, it is there. Needless to say, they failed to reach a compromise and are still fighting. Romeo and Juliet's paper, however, later appeared in a high-impact journal and collected many citations. They became truly famous. Let me finally return to the question posed at the beginning, namely whether university education can help you find Ms. or Mr. Right, the ideal partner for life, so to speak. Well, it all depends on how the mixture between slow and fast thinking, reason and passion, plays out for each of you individually. No doubt you will make mistakes, but as Churchill reminds us, failure is not fatal, even though this may sound odd in a world that is looking for the final success. I would like to close by wishing you luck and trust in yourselves to find the right balance in life. And for the really strong emotions, you can always buy a ticket for the Globe Theatre. Thank you very much for your attention.
Well, graduands and ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree that was an outstanding occasional address, and I sincerely thank Peter for it, and I thank him for coming all the way to Australia to deliver it. Mind you, he hasn't come on his own. His son is here. His son's about to go up to Byron Bay, and he tells me that they're about also to be joined by their mother and his siblings. So I hope you have a great time in Australia. And don't get into too much mischief at Byron Bay, Peter. You're Peter. You're Georg. That's right, Georg. Behave yourself, Georg. Okay, now, as I said, I think Peter deserves another great round of applause for a really great occasional address. Now, I mentioned earlier that there is absolutely no reason for any of you to be nervous or worried. But I have to admit that this is the one part of the ceremony that makes me just a little bit nervous, because I was told many years ago by a very eminent legal mind in Sydney that if I conferred a degree on someone who was not eligible to receive it, it was really very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, for me to take it back. So I have to make sure that you're all eligible to graduate today. And therefore I have to get an ironclad assurance from our registrar, Gail White, sitting at the end there, that none of you were ever late in submitting an assignment and none of you ever skipped a class. Gail, can you please give me those assurances, please?
Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
Yes, that's you, yes. Well, graduands, on get my script here. In the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences, and I call on Professor Simon Handley, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Human Sciences, to present the graduates. Professor Handley.
Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences. Our faculty hosts a unique combination of disciplines connected by the common purpose of building an understanding of what it means to be human. Our departments of Educational Studies and Linguistics offer innovative and interdisciplinary teaching programs and research strengths in learning, behaviour, mind and language. We aspire to develop a deeper understanding of the human experience and deliver graduates with highly developed professional and personal skills. The Department of Educational Studies is shaping the future of education through transformative learning and research across the lifespan. Recognising our excellence in early childhood learning, we were recently awarded a $1 million Australian Research Council grant to examine the impact of the communicative environment on infant, toddler, language development in long daycare centres. A project that will have important long-term impacts through improving the quality of early childhood education and developmental language outcomes. Our Department of Linguistics is rated in the top 60 of all linguistics departments worldwide and undertakes research in the fields of hearing, language processing, child language acquisition, and adult language learning. Our international research standing was most recently recognised through the award of a $1 million Australian Research Council Fellowship for a project examining multicultural Australian English. The project will provide a unique benchmark for us understanding Australian speech patterns for clinical, educational and technological applications. Together, our Departments of Education and Linguistics are changing the lives of individuals and communities through enhancing communication and transforming education. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Psychology with a degree of Bachelor of Education Primary. Leonie Nahus. Jacqueline Nicholas. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Education Primary. Lisa Barton. Thomas James Blackett. Jessica Eileen Boots. Molly Caroline Brigham. Tyler Roy Castles. Haneen Al Musri. Claudia Kiko Elliott. Rachel Hellier. Shabana Faheen Khan. Shabnam Mangal. Michaela Marsh. Daniel Edmund Morsilo. Harim Kazi. Eleanor Rutter. Henriette Sahagian. Michelle Cito. Amanda Vijay-Singha. Mirabel Youssef. Xavier Renee Bernard. Tamara Dabich. Catherine Halim. Ji Shin Shu. Adam David Jacka. Emily Jones. Shannon Lloyd. Patrick Charles Morgan. Daniel Carmina Rosina. Michael John Snowden. Emma Victoria Stiley. Chancellor, I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science with the degree of Bachelor of Education, Secondary, Megan Gallagher. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Mawada Majdi M. Hariri. Catalina Arada Haov. Ji Won Sarah Kim. Nayeon Lee. John Nam. Sandra Lorena Perez Ulloa. Alice Yapit. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood Education, Birth to 12. Samantha Lee Bailey. Jennifer Mary Jane Brandon. Lauren Marie McClure. Sarah Graham. Wei Wen Michelle Ng. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Human Sciences. Karen Leibovich. Jessica Wright. Melissa Yip. Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, birth to 5 years, Luke Joseph Azzopardi. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Early Childhood Education, Anna Tom T. Nguyen. Sonia Sin. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Translation and Interpreting Studies with the degree of Master of International Relations. Yingzi Kang. Olga Spivak. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Advanced Translation and Interpreting Studies. Bidan Gung. Jialiang Huang. Hyojin Lee. Stephanie Audrey Muller. Ana Maria Osorio Arias. Yao Shu. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics. Eleonora Beolci. Liam Bernard Duncan. Megan Romanes. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics and TESOL. Amanda Shaw. T2 Ngan Dong, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Altsbeta Gromanova. Yong Ju Lee. Hong Ngan Nguyen. Dio Feng Tao Ngo. T. Ngop Duke Nguyen. Fiona Lee Oates, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Kanis Rahman. Wei Sung. Chen Shi Xia. Jianan Jung. Excuse me a moment, I got that one wrong, so if just bear with me. Yu Zhao. Jianan Zheng. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Early Childhood. Anna Louise Caskey. Thurzar Lim. Anne Louise O'Sullivan. Tracy Veronica Redman. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Education. Marie Etherington. Vanessa Elizabeth Furlong Alexanderson. Anthea Rose Nichols. Peter David Orenstein. Catherine Paget, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Rebecca Wilkinson. Catherine Elizabeth Winter. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Educational Leadership. Anna Norma Grenfell. Matthew Scott Miller. Alison Rebecca Warren. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Special Education. Lara Early. Gulsevin Ivars. Emma Elise Goldsworthy. Beth Kate Webber. Leanne Cherie Wood. Chancellor, I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Teaching, birth to 5 years. Lourdes Patricia Paredes Vivanco. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Translation and Interpreting Studies. Ying Li. Jiaxin Meng. Francie Wilson. Yingxin Wu. Hanping Xie. Xue Zhou. Chancellor, I present the diplomate awarded the Graduate Diploma of Auslan English Interpreting, Rebecca Kate Cramp. Chancellor, I present diplomates awarded the Graduate Diploma of Translating and Interpreting, Shola Kafash. Bokyang Kim. Chun Lee. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Susan Catherine Coldis for a thesis entitled Pre-Service Teachers' Understanding of Reflection and Reflective Practice. Anna Lee Hardy for a thesis entitled The Impact of Interactive Apps on Children's Executive Function. Emi Iwasaki for a thesis entitled Medical Terms and Concepts of Heart Failure, Differences in Scope for Physicians and Nurses. Aleksha Mehta for a thesis entitled Parent Engagement with Their Children's Primary School, a case study of 2 Indian migrant families. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Fadwa Fahad Al-Nafjan for a thesis entitled Improving the Clinical Applicability of Electrophysiological Assessments and Cochlear Imaging in Adult Cochlear Implant Patients. Dr. Sausan A. Al-Jahadli for a thesis entitled A Functional Socio-Semiotic Reading of the Paradox of Literary Demotion and Popular Promotion in Translated Bestsellers. Paulo Coelho o Alchemista as a case in English, Arabic, and Turkish. Dr. Benjamin Luke Davis for a thesis entitled Children's Gradual Acquisition of Singular and Plural. Dr. Nigel David Gearing for a thesis entitled Factors Affecting the Motivation of EFL Instructors Living in South Korea to Learn Korean. Dr. Elaine Leslie Huber for a thesis entitled Investigating the Praxis of Evaluating Small-Scale Learning and Teaching Projects in Higher Education. Dr. Nadar Karimi for a thesis entitled Patient-Centered Advanced Cancer Care, a systemic functional linguistic analysis of oncology consultations with advanced cancer patients. Dr. John Craig Kinneberg for a thesis entitled Developing the Higher Order Thinking Skills of Middle School Geography Students Using Geographic Information Systems, a study of direct instruction and guided discovery pedagogies, and the impact of additional multimedia scaffolding and teacher model. Dr. Gareth David Leachman for a thesis entitled School Governance, School Leadership and School Effectiveness. Dr. Long Lee for a thesis entitled The Influence of Political Ideology in the Translation of English Works by Chinese Migrant Writers. Dr. Erin Patricia Mackenzie for a thesis entitled Support Seeking in Early and Middle Adolescent Girls, an exploratory study of online support seeking and mental health. Dr. Angit Mathur for a thesis entitled Human Brain Mapping of Tinnitus. Dr. Linda Joy Meeks for a thesis entitled How Well Prepared Are Australian Pre-Service Teachers to Teach Beginning Reading Skills? Chancellor, I present the graduate from the Faculty of Science and Engineering admitted to the degree of Master of Information Technology, Amit Anand Patak. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences.
Chancellor, I call on Ms. Eleanor Rutter, who has graduated today with a Bachelor of Arts with a Bachelor of Education Primary, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Ms. Rutter.
Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and guests, it is a great privilege to speak on behalf of the students graduating here today. To the graduating class, congratulations, you've made it. You have completed the long road of your degree. This is a unique moment in time where you can reflect on just how far you have come. From the first moments of entering Macquarie as a young first year, unsure of yourself, and not even being able to picture the thought of missing a lecture, you have now graduated as confident and capable individuals. When thinking about how to structure my speech today, I remembered I was graduating from a primary education degree, meaning that I'm now exceedingly qualified to write an acrostic poem. Don't fear, I'm not going to use the whole of Macquarie University, just MQ Uni. If I've learnt anything from teaching small children, it's that keeping things short and snappy is the way to go. M, more than we could ask for. We came to Macquarie with the main purpose of attaining a qualification, but what we are leaving with is so much more than that. We spent years belonging to the Macquarie community, in sporting clubs, student societies, making so many memories and gaining invaluable friendships that will last a lifetime. Q, quintessentially different. I had the privilege of working as a student ambassador for the university for 4 years. At school presentations and career markets, I was consistently asked, why did you choose Macquarie? What makes it different? Answering that question, I always thought about the academics. It's very rare to consistently have staff so invested in us, to help us become the best teachers that we can be. On a personal note, I would like to single out Stuart Woodcock, John DeNoble, Rod Lane, Mandy Yates, and Joe Fitzgibbon for helping me in my journey. Thank you for helping me to achieve more than I thought I ever could. Now, you can never achieve in singularity. There is a community of support behind you to enable your success. So on behalf of the graduating class, I would like to thank all of the academics for the time and the effort you have put in to help us realise our potential. We appreciate it so much and are also grateful for all the ways that you helped us to become professionals. Special shout out has to go to Dr. Wayne for ensuring that in our educational psychology class, Piaget was never pronounced as Pigot. You, unconditional support. To our family and friends, both those here with us today and those who couldn't make it, I think I speak on behalf of all the graduates here when I say thank you. We couldn't have done it without you and your support. Thank you for being with us every step of the way with your unwavering love and encouragement, telling us to never doubt ourselves and never let anything bring us down. Thank you for believing in us even when we didn't have the confidence in ourselves to finish. Our degrees awarded to us today as individuals belong to you just as much. To our university peers, thank you for being there for us with a Pepsi and jelly beans when we were still referencing at 11:49 p.m. and the assignment was due at 11:59 p.m. Thank you as well for hearing and sympathising with our very real and genuine concerns about getting up for an 8 a.m. lecture. Like our friends and family, you are integral for success, enjoyment, and laughter in our university journey. So to the graduating class, I would also like to say thank you. N, never approach an ibis. We did not just gain a degree here at Macquarie, but we also gained Macquarie Street Smarts. Despite the ibis looking like a curious and unique creature, in our first year, we have all seen someone, or even made the mistake ourselves, of approaching these bin chickens, only to our detriment. But we thank you, Macquarie, because it is through this that we learnt to trust our instincts. This is an important lesson for us to take with us into the workplace. Trust your instincts and stand up for what is right. Don't let discrimination, however subtle or blatant, occur around you. I learn. Despite our learning platform being known as iLearn, I have loved the way that our study at Macquarie has always been focused outwards, focused on the impact we will one day have in our fields of work. Over our years here, we have engaged in learning not for ourselves, but for the good of others. Each of us has now been equipped with the knowledge and skills to create change, to positively influence the world around us with the power of education. In the classroom, this is done one moment at a time, helping the student who never thought that they could achieve to believe in themselves and succeed. Taking the time out of a busy day to teach phonics to a student who struggles with reading but has slipped through the cracks over many years. These moments have lasting impacts and can now be positively affected by you. Finally, even though we learnt on iLearn, we also used the Echo software, which I believe holds an important reminder. At the start of your next journey, I would like to leave you, the graduates, with a question. What will your echo be? How will you use your degree and the knowledge you have gained here for the benefit of others and to affect change? Congratulations, graduates, and thank you very much.
congratulations, Eleanor, on a fine speech, and congratulations too on your degree. Now, you made a point there about teaching phonics to a child who might otherwise fall through the cracks. That was a very good point to make, and I just point out that you should never, ever, ever, ever underestimate the importance of the work you do as a teacher. We used to have a governor in New South Wales not so long ago, Professor Murray Bashir, who was an academic. She was actually a psychiatrist, a doctor, obviously, and she used to make the point that the three most important professions were nursing, teaching and plumbing. She happened to have the #1 plumber's licence in New South Wales, and of course the point she used to make was that the plumbers did more than any doctor in the world to improve the health of the population. But of course teaching was one of the three professions that she mentioned as being the most important, and I'd be inclined actually to put teaching up there in front of the others because it makes and can make such a huge difference to the lives of so many young people. So congratulations on a great speech. I think she deserves another great round of applause. Well, now that wasn't too bad, was it? That glorious voice, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Angela Brewer, and we're very fortunate here at Macquarie University because Angela sings at almost all of our graduation ceremonies. Now, occasionally she can't make it for one reason or another, so you're lucky that today was one of the occasions when she could make it, because when she can't get here, I do the singing. I think she deserves another great round of applause. And so too do our fabulous musicians. Excuse me, Melanie McLaughlin over there on the trumpet, and Dr. James Forsyth, our organist. I'd also like to thank the representatives of our alumni, our volunteers who come along to help out at your graduation to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So I'm sure you'd like to thank them as well. And sitting behind me are representatives of our academic community who, of course, have been vital during your progress at Macquarie University. I'm sure you'd like to thank them as well. Well, now, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University. But it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of over 184,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And graduates, please do make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study or attend alumni events, perhaps use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even if the mood takes you, simply come back and enjoy a picnic with friends down by our lake. Well, now, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges. But like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, especially those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today to help you celebrate this great occasion. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. Graduates, would you now please stand? Now I'd like you to put your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free. And now I'd like you to turn to face your family and your friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Now, graduates can turn around now, but please don't sit down because we'll be leaving in just a moment. But I would remind you, don't leave your degrees behind, pick them up before we move out, which we'll be doing, as I say, very, very shortly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, shortly I will lead the official party out through the centre aisle. We will be then followed by all of the graduates in procession, and then I would invite all of you to join the procession out through the centre aisle, around through the grounds outside down to the Macquarie, where I hope you'll all join us for some light refreshments. We have some refreshments for the adults, and we also have some lovely refreshments for the children, including ice creams and fairy floss, and they're available to everyone up to and exceeding my age. So please make sure you join us. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.